Breakfast is always the worst. I highly recommend prepping food at the beginning of the week. I usually do it Sunday night for dinner. I always try and make a version of what we're eating for dinner for Rocky. Hello you guys, and welcome back to another video. As you can see from the title, today I'm sharing what my 10-month-old eats in a day, and I wanted this day to be very realistic and typical to our normal life. A lot of times I will sit and plan out new meals to share with you guys, to give you guys new ideas, and there are still good ideas in this video, but I just wanted it to be very realistic as to what a day-to-day looks like if I'm not trying to like plan anything out what Rocky eats. A lot of the meals are very simple, they're very easy on the go, and I do some planning so that way it makes my life a little bit easier. But yeah, Rocky doesn't really like eating a ton, and it's been a huge struggle with us, so when I find something that he likes, it's stuck on the menu. So I wanted to share what that looks like for us right now. I also wanted to share really quick just some tips on sign language, because I've had a lot of you guys asking me how we've gotten Rocky to sign more and all done. He did thank you for a second, but then he started getting it confused with more, so we stopped preaching that one. But basically we have just taught him through mimicking. Rocky loves to mimic us. Anything that we do, like he'll go like this and like squint his eyes if we do it. He loves to clap with us. Like he just really loves doing what we're doing. And so we have been showing him signs for months now, probably ever since we started feeding him. And it wasn't until he picked up what we were doing that we kind of like worked on it with him. So I don't know if that makes sense, but we would always sign more if he was like kind of like, if he wanted more food. And then one day he did the sign. And so from there, every time that we gave him more food, we would ask him if he wanted more and we would have him sign it. And if not, we would take his hands and kind of show it to him. So that's kind of how we did it. I have a book from Love Every. It's one of the play kit books that shows a bunch of just like simple signs that you can teach your child, the like first simple ones. But if you guys want, you can always just like look them up. But yeah, it's nothing too crazy. It's just continuously doing it and speaking and showing him, and he's just been learning through observation. So I hope that helps any of you guys. Let's jump into breakfast. Also, so sorry about the lighting. It is 8:30 and it's so dark in our house, and you guys know my house, it's normally very bright, but it is storming, and so it's getting bright and dark. So yeah, bear with me. For breakfast, Rocky is having a yogurt bowl. Breakfast has been the hardest meal for us, and I think it's because he nurses his biggest session first thing in the morning, because it's been 12 hours since he's eaten, so he's not entirely stoked about breakfast. And so I've been learning to just keep it very simple, keep the prep simple, because that helps my sanity, and just keep the options simple for him. But also I'm trying my best to make sure he's getting a balanced meal with proteins, fat, and carbs. So he is having Greek yogurt with peanut butter, chia seeds, and raspberries. Now, I know I'm gonna get a lot of judgment on this, but just spare me. He likes to eat slowly, and he likes to kind of be distracted. I notice he does the best when we are out and about, and he can just kind of like look around and take it all in. And so I've been noticing that putting Moana on while he eats has been super helpful. So I know there's horrible studies about eating and watching things. I know screen time's not good. I know, but I'm trying to just be completely honest with you guys, and this is what has made breakfast time a little bit less stressful. So we go at his pace, he eats nice and slow. I don't try and sit there and force it, and yeah. We've also been feeding him in the bumbo for breakfast, because I feel like it takes a little bit of the pressure off.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope.
I'm trying my best to find a balance between the second I start talking, you were completely content. I'm trying my best to show a balance between real life and not showing Rocky crying or whining all the time. Hey, look. This is Mama's camera. You don't play with it. Would you like to play with something else? Yeah, we have so many toys that you can play with. I am not sure how I'm gonna show how breakfast went, but you can tell it took me and Nathaniel trying. He still whined a ton. Yeah. And I tried to give him the new sippy cup so that way he can work through drinking through a straw, and he doesn't like that, so that's why I reverted back to a sippy cup. But yeah, it's just a struggle feeding him. Breakfast is always the worst, and it kind of like gets us all upset for the start of the day. But yeah, lunch is always better. I always feed him things that I know he's gonna like because it makes my life easier, especially since I take him out for lunch. But yeah, this is life. I feel like I feel like I want to guard some parts of parenthood because I'm getting a lot of judgment, but I also want to be real and share you guys real life because I don't see this kind of stuff on YouTube myself, so it makes me feel like I'm the only one. And when you guys comment and like share with me that I'm not, it's very helpful. I love you, Bubby. Yes, I do. Can we play now? Yeah, you want to play? Okay, let's play.
All in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes.
For lunch, like I have been mentioning, I always try to leave the house because we just both need it. And so I always prep the lunch so that way wherever we're at, I can just feed him while we're out and about and I don't have to stress about getting home on time. And so I am feeding him what I feed him pretty much 5 or 6 out of 7 days of the week as of right now, because this is what he's really liking. And so I've shown these in the past, but they are just little prepped potato veggie bites. I will leave the link to the recipe down below, but they have potatoes, zucchini, broccoli, and like egg in them, and it gets a lot of good nutrients in there and he loves them. We do not have to fight him to eat them, and it's just super easy. He loves hummus, as you guys know, so I dip them in hummus. He also loves string cheese, and so I am going to bring half of this. And then he also really likes strawberries, and so I'm gonna bring strawberries too. And he likes to disintegrate his strawberries. He doesn't necessarily eat them as well as he eats like raspberries, but while I'm at the splash pad, that's one of the places I'm going, he loves to eat them. So yes, that is lunch. I also just have all these little containers that I put it in. These are from the little baby bullet. That's what they come with, and they have been super helpful for food on the go. And then this is my breast milk, like cooler lunch pail kind of thing. And I just put in a couple, what are they called? Ice packs, and bring this to go, and it makes life super easy.
Honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this. I stand alone. Show me.
I have it all packed up in here. These are my little ice packs, and then I always bring a bib. Little tip too, while you're eating, just clean it with wipes and then put it back in here so that way when you get home it's not like a huge mess. And then I always bring his bumbo just in case there's not like a high chair for him to sit on. I feel like I sound like a broken record, but I highly recommend prepping food at the beginning of the week. I usually do it Sunday night, just so that way there's like one meal that you don't have to like overly stress about, but it still has like good nutrients in it. It has saved me a ton. I'm about to wake up Rocky from his first nap, and I just wanted to mention too that he still does breastfeed. We nurse 4 times a day, right when he wakes up, after his first nap, after his second nap, and then before bed. And that whole fiasco of the teething nursing update, still not fully healed from it. Well, I am healed, but anytime I still nurse him normally in a cradle position, it like recuts me. So I'm still dangling in a football hold. I've been doing that since July 3rd.
The ending goes honestly don't. I should be the last to know.
All right, I am prepping dinner a little early. That way when it's time for dinner, I can just throw these in the oven and it's less prep while Rocky's awake because he's currently taking his nap. But we are having ground turkey teriyaki meatballs tonight over rice. And all of the ingredients Rocky can have except for the sauce. So I'm going to just make them normally and then keep the sauce on the side and put that on for just Nathaniel and I. But they look really good. I've never tried this recipe before. If he doesn't like it, I'll resort to something else, but I'm wanting to see if he'll like it. He has had ground turkey patties with like onion or cheese in them, and he does pretty well with that. And so I'm very curious to see what he will do. I will link this recipe down below, but it's basically just ground turkey, egg, green onion, garlic, breadcrumbs, and sesame oil. It also called for ginger, but I'm not going to include that. And then it has a homemade sauce as well, but I'm just gonna kind of do a mixture of teriyaki sauce since we already have it, and I really like the one that we have. Soy sauce and sesame oil, I just really like that combo, so I'm just gonna spare the extra time of adding like brown sugar and all these hoisin sauce, all these ingredients I didn't have for just a simple recipe there. You don't have a rice cooker, you need one. Stovetop rice is disgusting. I grew up with good rice. My dad is half Asian, if you guys didn't know. But Nathaniel recently has been putting a timer on it and doing like a delayed start. And so I started doing it because I feel like if I can do it right now and then have it timed, sometimes I like forget to start it later on, or sometimes like I need to tend to Rocky. And so doing that beforehand helps a ton. I have it set to start in like 40 minutes and then it takes like 40 minutes to cook. So it just works out super well.
Hello, Mona. I mistook you for a dream.
Okay, I'm sitting here rolling out these balls and then you just literally put them in the oven. So it should be super easy. But I don't know if I mentioned it. I just wanted to share that for dinner, I always try and make a version of what we're eating for dinner for Rocky. I know that's like a huge point in baby-led weaning, is to not make separate meals for your kid. And I don't think I prefaced this, but we do our version of baby-led weaning. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, I feel like dinner especially, we always have as a family. And so I try and make sure that we are all eating the same thing. This is how they turned out. I smashed one and left one in a circle just to kind of show you guys, but I've never made meatballs before and it's a little concerning because it's hard to tell if they're cooked, but I cooked them like an extra 5 minutes just to make sure, and it smells really good. Hopefully we don't get sick.
The engine glows, and I guess you always seem to know. Hello, Mona.
You wanna come help me end the vlog? All right, you guys, I'm very impressed with how much Rocky ate. You okay? That was a new food for him, like I said, and he did very well, way more than I had anticipated. There's one of Dad's hairs. There you go. But that is it for today's video. That is what Rocky is eating in a day at 10 months old. I have a lot of accounts that I like to follow that I wanted to share really quick. I love Typical Boy Mom as of lately, and then I've always loved Solid Starts, Happy Healthy Eaters, and Feeding Littles. I'll leave them all down below. And then I also wanted to say too, any like feeding utensils that we used for Rocky, I will try and link them all too. And then if you guys want more consistent what Rocky eats in a day on Wednesdays on Instagram, I do share what he eats. Are you climbing me? And so make sure you're following me there at Kylene Rael. And then my last ask is, if you guys liked this video, please share it and give it a like. That really helps my channel, and if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I post videos weekly. I'm trying to do every Tuesday, Friday, but life gets in the way sometimes. So yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.
The end's unknown, to get back the life I used to know.